When becoming a multi-classroom leader, I had high hopes to grow as a professional, to grow as an educator, and to learn the educational standards of a new state along with the requirements of a new district. I wanted to share what had been successful for me with other like-minded educators that impact our children. Participation in the New Leaders program quickly became a priority because it helped me to develop as a leader. I am now taking what I've learned and putting those practices into action. While still indirectly increasing my own professional growth, my list of priorities as an MCL began to grow and grow. This year has been a year of establishing relationships with each member of my teacher team by supporting them instructionally and emotionally and coaching them to become a more collaborative team that holds the same high hopes for our students, high hopes for success. Our team meetings, discussions, conversations, and data dives have centered around deeply understanding the ELA standards, aligning our instruction and newly created common assessments, analyzing assessment data to identify student misconceptions, and how to effectively plan to carry out meaningful and rigorous instruction through whole group and small group lessons. Our high hopes for students quickly became our vision, our why. This year, I have held high hopes of impacting my team, our students, and our school. Through building relationships with my team and among my team members, I have established a collaborative environment within our ELA department. Teachers have become more open about sharing ideas, resources, and strategies with each other, not only within the same grade level, but among the whole ELA team. In collaboration with other MCLs, common assessments for each grade level, 3 through 5, were designed, aligned, administered, and analyzed. This implementation allowed for a culture where instruction was driven by data. My team now looks at data in a new way, a way in which instruction is meaningful and differentiated to best meet the needs of our students. The division set the expectation for guided reading instruction to be taking place through small groups. I arranged a visit for my team to see small group instruction and guided reading being done in a school with similar dynamics. It was an eye-opening experience for them and gave them the permission they needed to implement this instruction within their own classrooms. It was a slow process at first, but now small group instruction is seen as a vital part of their daily routine. In support of guided reading, our belief that all students can learn, and being in the season of testing, I am using the Leveled Literacy Intervention Program within our identified intervention groups to help students and teachers reach their goals. This year in 3rd grade, our students are making consistent growth. At the beginning of the year as a team, we set a goal of 50% proficiency on the mock EOG, and as you can see, our students were not far from that goal. This not only shows how an impact has been made on our students, but also the teachers.
Having an MCL this year has been one of the greatest things that has happened at Dabney Elementary School. Jennifer Sullivan has been dedicated with helping students with their learning. She shows that the students are actually growing, so it makes them feel that they are owning their learning. So her being here has actually impacted myself, the students, the school, because she's dedicated in her job. She's very oriented when it comes down to the numbers, and she makes sure that all students are growing on target and stays on task. So I'm loving her. We need her here. Thank you, Ms. Sullivan, for all that you do.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Elliott. I have been teaching for 2 years. Ms. Sullivan, my multi-classroom leader, has helped me in several areas of my instruction, such as assessment, implementation of strategies, using data to inform instruction, and also planning. With planning, she helped me be able to implement learning stations in my classroom. We talked about the importance of student choice in reading books. We changed those centers from silent reading to partner reading. Miss Sullivan also helped me with planning and instruction, such as helping me find strategies for summarizing and other skills that the students needed. We also worked together to develop guided reading instruction in the classroom with small groups. The greatest area that I was helped in was through using data to reflect on practice and improve teaching. We used the data to inform instruction. We looked at what students knew through the data, and also we analyzed what students were misusing or confusing. This allowed me to target and come up with strategies that would help students in the areas that they needed help in the most. This was an eye-opening experience for me as an educator because I had never done this before, which we gathered as we also developed common assessments in which all fourth graders were retested on the same standards. After the common assessments, we would reflect on our practice and measure student improvement. This also helped us see if the strategies we were using were effective. Ms. Sullivan also served as emotional support for me in the classroom, which is important for new teachers to be able to be successful in the classroom, to develop a relationship with someone who is giving them feedback on lesson planning, their teaching strategies, and also assessing student work.
Hey, Mrs. Sullivan, Mr. Tillman, and Mr. Wren here, and we just wanted to show our appreciation for everything that you've done for us this year and the support you've given us and how you've made us feel at Dabney. And first of all, we just want to say that we think that you're the greatest. You definitely should come back next year. We hope you're planning to, because I feel not only have you given us the support that we needed in reading by putting together all of our data this year and just making sure that we had access to all the information to make our kids thrive, but you gave us extra support and went above and beyond by, I mean, you've been in there helping me even with math when you didn't have to. You've helped me with stuff when I was behind. You've come in my room and made sure that if there was a discipline issue, you were supportive in that. So all around, you've just been like one of the greatest, most supportive teammates to work with at Dabney that I've ever experienced. So I just want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we can't wait to work with you again next year.
Ms. Sullivan, I can't think of anything specific right now because my mind is going 100 miles an hour, but thank you for everything you did. And you helped make instruction relevant to students. Yeah, you did do that. You made it practical. You helped us plan when and gave us great ideas to use in the classroom. You helped us look at data in a way that I really haven't looked at before. You made data approachable, and you made it so that we could use it in a way that we really haven't used data before, and made it practical for students and for teachers.
As my MCL at Dabney, Ms. Sullivan has had an enormous impact. When I started teaching, I had a set philosophy and wasn't super willing to change. And then at the start of this year, our school began to really implement small group instruction. I was very hesitant. However, after all the support I received from Ms. Sullivan, the questions she answered, the resources she gathered, the friendly debates she had with me, my whole philosophy of teaching has changed. She not only impacted me as a teacher, but she's impacted my students and all the students I will have for the rest of my teaching career. Students are getting a higher quality education because I have the support and resources that I didn't have before I had Ms. Sullivan as my multi-classroom leader.
Now that my first year as a multi-classroom leader is coming to an end, I am reflecting on my practices and how the results have ultimately impacted our students. I can now identify the areas in which we excelled, along with areas in need of growth. When thinking and looking ahead at the next school year, I want to ensure greater consistency with guided reading across all grade levels. When planning for instruction, place an emphasis on implementing strategies for our students to become stronger and vested readers. In addition, the data analysis process will continue to be gradually released to my teachers. All in all, this year has consisted of many learning curves, not only for the teachers, but also for myself. These opportunities presented themselves for us to learn and grow as a team. We tightly embraced each bump in the highway and continue to drive forward with our vision in sight.